Hello, this is Joe Pryor, the virtual real estate team in Oklahoma. And, what I want to talk about is what's happening with rental rates. We've had a absolutely shark-feeding frenzy in the last two and a half years for homes, for people to move into them owner-occupant type homes. And that was going because interest rates were ridiculously low, as I've talked about in other recent videos here. But things have changed. Rates are going up. Even higher. They'll go up by the end of the year. And what that does is it throws more people out of the buying pool because, if you're buying FHA or VA, which is kind of the area we deal with, which is the first time buyer type homes, and all of a sudden they can't qualify anymore. In other words, if you go from a 2.5% to a 5% interest rate, and they have student loans, for instance, they're out. They cannot buy anymore. So they're thrown back into the rental pool. And the other thing that I've talked about is cities that are growing, like Oklahoma City and Tulsa. They're two top cities in the United States with populations over 1 million that are growing. Everything in capitalism is supply and demand. It is in buying a home, but it's also in rental homes. So maybe 2.5 years ago, we were 85 to 95 cents a square foot on newer construction. Well, then things started going to 90 to $1 a square foot. All right, and then now they're going up to 95 to $1.05 a square foot. And as more people are moving into the city and more people, because of the higher rates, are thrown into the rental pool, then the demand exceeds in a dramatic fashion the supply. When that happens, prices have to go up, just like houses, in terms of you're purchasing to be an owner-occupant. So we're seeing this constant rise in rental rates. And this is really, really good for the investor because, we're struggling like everybody else does. I mean, if you have a 3.5% mortgage rate for an investor, man, it's really easy to make anything work. But if you're starting to talk about 6 or 6.5%, it's very, very difficult. So things have to change. If prices are not going to go down dramatically, which it doesn't seem like they're doing at this point in Oklahoma City, as I pointed out, we're still only 6 days on the market, which is and 2 months of inventory, which is the seller's market. May get a little better, but what we really need is for these rent rates to increase some more. And we think that they will. We think that we're not that far off, going upwards to $1.10 a square foot, which is going to make your investment look really, really good. And on smaller homes, we think we can get even more because we're talking about 1,500 square foot homes, maybe $1.15 a square foot. So we're looking at all these things, we're analyzing it, I'm putting it into the return on investment analysis, which I do on every home that we do, to see if it gives the kind of yield that an individual investor wants. We know you're not a corporation, we know you're not using other people's money, it's your own money. And because of that, we want to make sure that that money goes a long way with low vacancy, the best interest rate that we can find, and especially the highest rental rates that we can do for you. Starting to look even better and better in the Oklahoma City and the Tulsa market.